I'm Cath and my channel is Made by Cath Craft, and welcome very warmly to day one of my Vlogmas. So I've been waiting all week for today to arrive. I've been really excited to join in for Vlogmas again. It's my third year now and it just makes me feel really festive, and I can't wait to pop on every day from today, which is Friday the 1st of December, until 24th of December, Christmas Eve. So I'll be popping on every day, all being well, with a video. There'll be lots of sewing content. I'll be sharing what I'm up to on the sewing front, also some knitting and crochet in there. I've got lots of Christmassy things planned this month I've got to share with you too, and just a bit of life as well, and taking you out and about as I go about my daily life in the lead up to Christmas. So thank you so much for joining me. It's really lovely to have you along. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon too, so you'll be notified every day when I bring my videos out. They'll probably be coming out at different times each day, depending on what I've got planned that particular day and what I can include in the video. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. I do really enjoy joining in. I've been looking forward to today. I've been sort of waiting for it all week. So yeah, thank you very much for joining my Vlogmas. So I'll start off today with exciting news that our elf is back. If you've watched my Vlogmas before, you'll know we have a cheeky little elf that arrives in our house every year in the run up to Christmas. He always arrives on the 1st of December, and then every night he gets up to some sort of hijinks, some antics around the house, and my children come down in the morning and discover what he's been up to. So we always have a lot of fun with Elf, and we were really happy to find him back this morning, because we never know if he's definitely going to come back. But yeah, luckily he decided to visit us again this year. So here he is, giving you a little wave. This is our little elf. He's still wearing a little jumper that he made himself on my sewing machine actually a couple of years ago. It must have been a cold trip down to us this morning or overnight. But yeah, he arrived this morning safe and sound. And I'll pop up a little picture so you can see how we found him. Thankfully, he brought the advent calendars as he usually does. So he arrived with some advent calendars on the back of a polar bear. A polar bear my daughter loves, so she was very excited to see him arriving on the back of that one. And actually, usually he just arrives with the advent calendars. But today it was a bit different, because there was a little welcoming committee to greet him, which was quite sweet. So some of the teddy bears and toys had gathered, and they'd written little notes on little boards saying how pleased they were to have Elf back. I'll pop a picture up so you can see the little messages for Elf. So yeah, it was quite a sweet little gathering this morning that we found when we came down early in the morning. So yeah, every day when I pop on for Vlogmas, I'll share what Elf has been up to. I'm sure he'll be up to some cheeky things as the days progress on, but yeah, I'll be sharing that every morning, so stay tuned for that. So that was Elf that arrived. Also this morning we got our advent candle started too, which is really lovely. I think it's quite nice to sort of eat breakfast with a bit of candlelight. So my son did the honours lighting the candle this morning, and I'll pop a little video in of him lighting it in a moment. So that was a nice way to get the month started too. So that's been quite a Christmassy start today actually, which is nice, because we haven't really done much Christmassy yet. We've been saving it for 1st of December. So it's nice to start on a positive note today. So I'll move on next to what I'm wearing today. I'll be sharing that every day as well. It's actually really cold here today. The temperatures have just really dipped over the last day or two here. This morning it was -2 degrees when we got up, so very chilly and frosty outside. So I thought I'd put on quite a nice cosy outfit to keep me nice and warm. And I've gone for this sweatshirt, which is quite an old one, but I always love wearing because it's so bright. This is a sweatshirt I made using a bit of a classic indie pattern. This one here, which is the Toaster Sweater pattern by Sew House 7. I haven't sewn one of these sweaters for ages actually, mainly because I have a few that I love wearing, so I guess I don't need any more because I really enjoy the ones I already have. But the version I've always made is this version here. I think it's called, version 1. It's got this sort of kind of quite nice chunky funnel neck. It's got a slightly cropped fit, a raglan sleeve, and it's got this oversized cuffs and bottom band, which I think are quite a nice feature. And yeah, it's a really nice cozy sweatshirt. I think I might have lengthened all of mine just slightly, just to make sure they're nice and cozy around my middle. And the one I'm wearing today, I made in this lovely fleece back sweatshirt fabric that I got from an online fabric shop that actually has just closed down this month, which is a real shame. But I love this fabric. I just think it's really, really fun with all these nice bright colours in it. And the toaster sweater is a really great pattern. It's got a really good size range. There's a standard size range, which goes from a 00 to a 20. And there's a curvy size range, which is from a 16 to a 34. So yeah, it's a really nice pattern. Sews up really nicely. I remember it was one of the earliest sweatshirts I made. It's quite nice because it's got this nice stand-up collar, so you don't have to worry about sort of getting a collar to lie flat or anything like that, a neckband to lie flat. But yeah, it's really nice and cozy in this thick fleecy fabric. And then I'm wearing it with a skirt. I'll stand up a bit so you can see my skirt. It's a nice wintry corduroy one. And this skirt I made using this pattern here, which is the moss skirt pattern by Grainline Studio. It's another pattern I really like for this quite simple sort of skirt that's designed to sit just below your natural waist. It's got a fly zip and little button and slash pockets and yoke at the back. And this one doesn't have such a big size range. It only goes from a US 0 to 18 up to a waist of 37 inches and hips of 47 inches. So not the biggest size range on this one. But it's one of my older patterns. I bought it quite early in my sewing journey. I quite like the instructions. It feels like it comes together really nicely. And the version I'm wearing today, I made in a corduroy, which is kind of like a petrol colour that I think I originally got from Selfmade. I'll link the website down below. I don't think this corduroy is still in stock because I got it quite a while ago. But it's really nice and velvety and cosy. And I made this version here, which is kind of like a slightly longer length version with this sort of large hemband on the bottom. And I actually shortened the main part of the skirt here a little bit to make it, because I think this version is designed to kind of come down to just above your knee, and then this mini skirt's quite short, and I wanted a skirt that was sort of somewhere in the middle. So I just took a couple of inches, I think, off this part of the skirt and then added on the oversized hemband, and that's how my one looks. So I'll put a picture up so you can see that outfit on. The corduroy is quite nice and cozy with this sweater, so I'm feeling nice and cozy even though it's really, really chilly outside. So that is what I'm wearing today. So the next thing that I wanted to share in this video is a new fabric that arrived with me this week that I got last weekend in the Black Friday sales. And I'd had my eye on this fabric for a while actually before Black Friday, but I thought I'd hold off buying it in case there was a discount code and I'd get it on special. And I was very excited. It's fabric from Fabric Godmother, and Fabric Godmother had 25% off all fabrics on the website last weekend. So I was quite excited to be able to buy it with that discount. And I've got it on my lap now and it's keeping me really warm actually. It feels like a little blanket because it's a really, really cosy fabric. And this is it. It is called their Rory Sherpa fleece fabric. I'll link it down below because I just checked a moment ago and it is still in stock on the Fabric Godmother website. So it's a stretchy fleece fabric. It's got like a knit texture on the back, hopefully you can see. And I just thought it was really fun. I think it's made specially for Fabric Godmother. So it's got this sort of, I think it's called ecru colour in the background. It's not quite white, it's a little bit more creamy. And it's got these sort of black leopard print design on it. It's an acrylic poly blend, and I wouldn't usually go for like a poly blend type fabric. I do usually prefer sort of natural fibres, but I thought this I'd like to make into like a sweatshirt. So I'll probably be wearing a cotton t-shirt underneath, so I'm sort of hoping it'll be okay. But yeah, I just really loved it and thought it was a lot of fun. And actually when it arrived, I was really pleasantly surprised because it's really, really soft on the back. I kind of expected it to be a little less soft, but it's so lovely and soft on the back. So I think, although I'll probably wear a t-shirt underneath if I turn it into a sweatshirt, I have the arms, I wouldn't have anything on underneath it on the arms, but it actually feels lovely and soft against my skin. So yeah, and it's got a nice amount of stretch to it. Does it say on the website what stretch it has? I'm not sure it does. But yeah, it's got a nice amount of stretch to it. So I think it'll be great for a sweatshirt. It does say on the website you can make it into a sweatshirt. So that is my plan. So yeah, very, very cozy and suitable for this time of year. I've pre-washed it already. I don't usually overlock the edges of sort of knit fabrics before I pre-wash them, but I thought I would with this fabric because I thought there might be fur flying everywhere otherwise, so I made sure to overlock the edges. It did look like some fur was starting to come off a little bit, so I have to be careful. Probably need to hoover quite a bit after I've been sewing with this or cutting it out. So that is my new fabric that I'm very excited to sew with. And what I'd like to sew with this is a sweatshirt using a new to me sweatshirt pattern I also bought this week. Unfortunately, this one wasn't on special, but it's another one I'd had my eye on for a while and I wanted to try. And it is this pattern here. It is the DD Pullover by Fibre Mood. So I've seen quite a few people wearing this style of sweatshirt for a while, and I just really fancied making one for myself. So it's got this zip front here with this kind of quite large collar. And then I think it's designed to be like a slightly oversized sweatshirt with a dropped shoulder. But yeah, I really like this sort of zip feature at the front here. I know it's quite on trend at the moment, and I thought, yeah, I'd like to give it a go. And yeah, the DD looked like a really nice option now. I think there were a couple of other ones out there, but I had a little look on the DD hashtag on Instagram, really like the look of it. So yeah, this is the DD sweatshirt by Fibre Mood. I bought this from the Fold Line website. I'll link this down below. I just bought this one pattern and it's the PDF. So it's quite nice because when you get the PDF file, it comes with all the seam allowances added on, which means you don't have to go and manually add them on like you do if you buy the actual physical magazine. A Fibre Mood magazine. So yeah, anyway, this is the DD. It comes in extra small to extra large, and that takes you, I think, from a bust of 30 inches up to bust of 58 inches. It does say in the measurements and everything, if you're not keen on oversized items, just make DD a size smaller. So yeah, it's designed to be an oversized sweatshirt. So I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. So last night I printed out all of the pieces, pattern pieces, ready to put together. I thought I'd do it myself. I didn't think there'd be that many, but there are actually quite a few. So that is my plan this morning, to sort of stick all those pattern pieces together and decide on which size to go for. It's got the layers function, this pattern. So when you get it open on Adobe Acrobat, you can choose just to print out one size. My sizes will put me in between a size extra small and small. And I wasn't sure, because it is oversized, whether I should size down to the extra small or whether I kind of preferred the idea of it being a bit more oversized and I should go for the size small. So I haven't made that decision yet. I've got them both those lines printed out on my pattern pieces. I'm going to put it all together and then make a final decision on which size to go for. So I'll pop back on later and update you as to what I've decided. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to giving the DD a go. So that is my plan this morning, to get started on that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I love this fabric. It's going to make the coziest sweatshirts ever. So yeah, that's my new fabric this week. And then the other thing that I wanted to share while I was on now was a knitting project that I finished, I think, a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't shared it on here just because I haven't done a sewing catch-up sort of video. So I thought now would be a good time to share. And it's been quite fun, actually. I've been making some new clothes for a knitted kitty that I knitted a couple of years ago. So the knitted kitty I originally made is from this book here, which is the Knitted Cats and Kittens book by Sue Stratford. I've made quite a few cats from this book now. It's been a lot of fun to work through some of the patterns. And the kitty that I originally made is one for my daughter. She's called Kitty Cat. I'll find her here. So this is Kitty Cat here. And when I originally made her for my daughter asked for me to make her in her PJ set, which is this one here, this cute little nighttime set. But she didn't really want the dress set that I just showed you a moment ago with Kitty Cat wearing. So yeah, Kitty Cat for the last couple of years has been having, every day has been a pyjama day for her. She's been in these PJs here. I've got them, the versions here that I made. They're really cute and fun to make, actually. I use this fluffy yarn for the bunny face. It's got some little buttons here at the top of the pyjamas, a little hole for her tail at the back, and the cutest little bunny slippers. I've got one here. I love the little slippers with the little pom-pom tail. So that's what Kitty Cat has been wearing. But then more recently, when my daughter was having another leaf through this book, she spotted the dress and said actually she would quite like Kitty Cat to have that dress now. So that is what I've been making, but my daughter chose slightly different colours to the dress in the book. So you can see here, the dress in the book is a blue with this little orange feature colour and these little bloomers. My daughter decided she'd like the dress in blue with a little pink feature colour, and she didn't want the bloomers, which I was actually quite pleased about because I thought they looked a little bit fiddly. So I thought just a dress and some little shoes would be nice. So here is Kitty Cat in her new little outfit. And it was a lot of fun to make, actually. I love this little detail on the bottom of the hem, these little bobbles. I think they're so sweet. I can't remember what they're called, but I love that little feature and they're really fun to knit. And then her little dress has got these little fish motifs on it, and this little fish here that hangs down from a little bow on a ribbon, which I thought was so sweet. And then I got little buttons. They're actually little bunny buttons I got. I thought they're really sweet and went quite nicely. These cute little bunny buttons. Yeah, it's a really cute little dress. And then she's got these little sweet little shoes And I made the shoes in pink with a little blue button, sort of matching with the dress. So this one doesn't have a hole in the back because it's got a bit more room for her tail. She's got a little fish at the back too, but I think she's quite happy in it. I guess it must be nice to have a bit of a change from pyjamas. So yeah, that is Kitty Cat. I haven't actually shown this one to my daughter yet, so you're seeing it before her. I wasn't sure whether to keep the outfit for Christmas or whether to give it to her in the run-up to Christmas. I don't really know. Let me know what you think. But yeah, so yeah, Kitty's been sort of AWOL for a while for my daughter's room. I'm not sure if my daughter might have forgotten about her, so hopefully it'll be a nice surprise when she sees the outfit. But yeah, I did enjoy knitting that. So that was a fun, another little knitting project from this book down here. I don't think this book is actually still available, and I had to look online, but there is now another book by Sue Stratford, which is, I think it's Knitted Cats and Dogs. I've also got that book, and it's got quite a few of the kitty patterns from this book and some dog patterns too, which are also lovely. So I will link that down below in case you like a bit of knitting. They are really fun books to work their way through. But yeah, that was my latest kitty outfit. I don't think there are any other outfits actually for her to wear. I think it's just the pyjamas and the little dress set. So unless my daughter decides at some point she wants those little bloomers to go with the dress, I think Kitty's wardrobe is complete. So yeah, I thought I'd share that now as well. But I think I'll finish up now. I want to go and get started on putting my pattern pieces together. I've got a few chores to do as well, a wash load to put on and that sort of thing. So I will leave you now and I'll pop on a little bit to catch up on how I'm getting on with my DD pullover. So yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. I'm back on now. It's just coming up to lunchtime. Got a few chores done, and I also got all my sticking together of my DD pullover pattern done, and I've cut it out now. Cut it out now. And I decided in the end to choose the size small, so I thought I'd size up. I kind of held the pattern piece up against a couple of other sweatshirts I have that I quite like the fit on, and I thought actually I don't think the size small would be too oversized. I thought I'd go for that, and I thought because the fabric is quite bulky and thick, it'll be better to have it a little bit bigger rather than a bit smaller. Otherwise there's a risk it might end up a bit snug, I guess. So yeah, I went for the size small, and I've made a couple of adjustments to the pattern pieces too. I decided to lengthen the body by 1 inch and lengthen the sleeves by 1.5 inches. I'm not sure that I'll need the full 1.5 inch length on the sleeve, but I thought best to make them a little bit too long, and then I can always sort of trim them a little bit at a later point. So that is where I'm up to on the pattern. Although actually I cut all the pieces out except for the wrist trim. That's what the kind of cuff's called, the wrist trim and the hemband. And when I had a look at the hemband and the wrist trim, they looked quite narrow. And I did actually find on the fabric on my website, the Woolry Faux Fur Sherpa Fleece does have a 50% width-wise stretch, so it's quite stretchy. But I just thought they looked so narrow. I was a bit worried they might, particularly the bulky fabric, end up feeling a bit tight still. So I thought I would maybe start with the other pieces, and I guess I'll be adding them at the end. And at that point I can decide whether to cut them out then, the size the pattern pieces say, or maybe add a little bit of extra width just to make sure they aren't too snug. So that is my plan. So I've got them I've trimmed around them, but I haven't actually cut out the actual lines on them because I thought maybe I'll just add a bit extra on the sides, and it kind of would remind me not to cut them out now if I leave a little bit of extra around the sides and don't trim them down for now. So, but everything else is cut out. So on the pattern piece, they're quite interesting, particularly this collar. This is the collar pattern piece, and then you cut it on the fold here. So I'm quite intrigued just to see how that will sew up. And actually, one thing I wanted to ask on here, because I know there are lots of people that watch who've got lots of sewing experience and might be able to help me on this one. So I'm a little bit nervous about inserting a zip onto stretch fabric. It isn't something I've done a lot. I think I've only done it once before, and it was a bit of a disaster actually. I made, when I was quite new to sewing, a sort of onesie in quite a lightweight fleece back sweatshirt fabric. It was maybe a bit ambitious when I was quite new to sewing, and the whole fit of it didn't end up that great, but the zip bit went particularly badly because I didn't think about how the zip won't stretch, but the stretchy fabric would stretch. And it just ended up being a nightmare because the stretchy fabric was growing as I was inserting the zip, but the zip wasn't. So it didn't end up right. I remember having to kind of sort of bodge it a little bit to get it to work. I think in hindsight, maybe I should have interfaced the stretch fabric with some like non-stretch interface, and that was my thought. If I'd have done that, it would have stopped the stretch fabric stretching and it would have been easier to insert the zip. But I was having a look at the DD instructions, and then that doesn't mention anything about adding interfacing or anything like that. So I was wondering, do you think I should add interfacing to the fabric before I sew in the zip to just add some stability and make sure the fabric doesn't stretch and the zip will not stretch and the fabric stretches too much as I insert the zip? Or do you think it'll be okay? It doesn't really say on the fabric how much of a stretch it has lengthwise. I could maybe give a feel, but I guess it'll have some stretch because it is a knit fabric. So I'd love any thoughts on what I should do there, whether I should be okay inserting the zip as per the instructions, or whether a bit of interfacing might be good or some other solution. Yeah, I'd rather not spoil this one. I'd like to get it right, and I have been putting off actually revisiting trying a zip on stretch fabric for quite a while, just because of that bad experience before, and because, yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of zips generally. They're not my favourite thing to put into garments, but on woven fabric, I'm okay. But yeah, on stretch fabric, any hints or tips you have would be very much appreciated. But anyway, I think I'm pleased to have made that progress today on my DD pullover. I'm going to make myself some lunch now, I think, and then I'll pop back on to you after lunch. So yeah, I'll see you again in a little bit. Bye. Hello, I'm back again now. I've had my lunch and done a few chores, and I thought that now would be a good time to pop back on here because in not too long I'll have to head out the door and go and collect my son and daughter from school. So I'm definitely going to make sure I wrap up on the school run this afternoon because it was very chilly this morning on the morning school run. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and dig out one of my knitted hats, because this morning when I was walking up I did feel quite chilly and I thought a nice knitted hat would keep me nice and cosy. So yeah, I'm going to make sure, try and find one of those and get nice and cosy for the walk up this afternoon. And my son and daughter are really excited actually today because after school it is the school Christmas fair, which is always really lovely and festive. So I think it's a great way to kick off for December. So it takes place in the school hall, and there are usually loads of stalls. There's always a tombola, there's a cake stall, there's often a stall with little Christmassy items you can buy. And there are games to get involved in as well. It's always very, very hectic, but a lot of fun. And it raises lots of money for the school. So it's a really great, fun event. So we're really looking forward to going along to that. And earlier this week, we made some chocolate tiffin to contribute to the cake stall. So I took a picture of it before we took it into school to hand in this morning. So I'll pop the picture up so you can see it. It's just a recipe we've used quite a few times before. We think it's really yummy. So my children were quite keen to make that one for the cake stall. And when we got it all packaged up, they put a little sticker on top that said Santa approved. I'll pop a picture up of that too. They were quite tickled with that. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun later this afternoon. So I think I'll finish this video off here because I've got a bit of time now to get it all edited and uploaded. So I'll take that time now. And then if I've got anything to update you on from what happened at the fair or anything exciting that we bought or won, I will share that in tomorrow's video for day 2. So yeah, I'll finish off here. So thank you so much for joining me for the first day of Vlogmas. It's lovely to be back on again. It doesn't seem like that long since last Vlogmas, but it's already started making me feel really festive filming today. So I really appreciate you joining me, and I'd love it if you'd follow me along all the way through to Christmas Eve. I'm really looking forward to sharing lots of things. I've got lots of sewing projects to share, Christmassy things that we're going to be up to. So yeah, there should be lots of these videos, and obviously Elf will be here every day too. So yeah, I'd love it if you join me, please do. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, and do make sure that you're subscribed to my channel, and you've also pressed that little bell icon because that means you'll be notified every day when my new Vlogmas videos come out. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to this Vlogmas and being back on again. It does take a lot of time, but it's so much fun. So yeah, do follow me along, and it'll be, yeah, hopefully lots of fun through December. So thank you again for watching, and I'll hopefully see you again. Well, I will see you again for day 2 tomorrow. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye.